Oh my god, now everything is black. Give me a moment. Yep, more technical difficulties. Why? Of course. Okay, things are okay again. All right. Hello there. Welcome to my stream. I am Nick and I will be your GM for the night. And tonight we are going to be playing session 3 of What Lurks in Creek Hollow, which is a Kids on Bikes RPG. And with me are my fabulous cast. And before we begin, let me do a short little recap. So, last session, all of you, through various means, find yourself drawn to the film set of one Jack Ferrier, who is a well-known horror director that has rolled into town late Monday night and is seemingly staying here in order to film. Over the course of the day, Dustin, you were approached, or rather, Matthew, you were approached by the producer for Jack Ferrier's film, who wanted to recruit your brother for a short little project of being like a guest star in the film, which you all, without the permission of your mom, snuck out and followed this producer towards the film set. While Cyrus, you were invited by your friends there in order to sort of like, in your own ways, celebrate the life of your late friend. And Saf, you were dragged along by, oh god, Penny. Yes, by Penny. Wait, is it
Paula.
Penny? Paula. Oh god, too many P's named. I'm getting them mixed up. Penny.
Yeah, it's not because of the peace in your job.
Oh my god. I plead the fifth.
We're not in America though. Too bad.
Yeah. But anyway, you all end up at this film set, and while over there, Dustin, you befriended one of the actors in the film, Leon, who took a quick liking to you and struck up a rapport with you. Same with Saf as well. You met with one of the female lead of the film. Oh god, what's her name? I should have consulted my notes before I started. Maya Lynn Simmons.
Yes.
Yep.
And eventually, you all watched the film be filmed at that alleyway before the shoot is moved towards a spot near Mirror Falls in the forest. And there is where Leon was supposed to film his death scene at the hand of the monster, which you all saw is a full costume worn by one of the stuntmen. And during the shoot itself, y'all watch as Leon was dragged bloodily and screaming down into a hole. And y'all thought, amazing practical effects. But myth. Somehow, you knew that there was more to it, that the scream was a bit too real, the blood a bit too real. And you suspect, maybe. Eventually, the film set disperse and all of you head back home, and Dustin and Matthew, the two of you, reach home. Your mom is still not home yet. And going into your rooms, Dustin, you, at the behest of your brother, chose to draw the claw of what you thought the monster that ran through the Mirrorfall party looked like. And as you do, you discover a strange symbol carved onto your table before you go to sleep. And also, just for your information, I did not post a picture of that symbol, but it is now inside our chat, so you can have a look at that. Do not look up the symbol online, what it means. Spoilers.
Oh.
Really?
Yep. Yep. Shh.
Yeah.
But yes, that is basically what happened last session. And now we start off today's session with Cyrus. You, who have been abandoned by your friend Piper and Vince. Piper, who was the one who dragged you here in the first place, and when you were pressed into runner duty, she and Vince just casually disappeared, leaving you to bear the brunt of the job. And so you find yourself making your way back home alone. So you approach your house. The house is dark. You reach the front door. You unlock it. Gently open the doorknob as soft as possible so as not to disturb your parents. Shuts the door softly behind you. Lock it. You begin to walk your way towards the staircase that leads to the first floor before you hear a voice go, "You're late." And you turn to your right through the open doorway into your kitchen. Your dark kitchen, mind you. And you see your dad sitting there, still dressed in his work clothes. And he's just sitting over there, not looking at you. And what is Cyrus feeling at this moment?
I'm a little bit shocked that he's still awake, assuming that he would be already, in room sleeping.
Where were you? And now he finally turns and looks towards you. I can see his eyes are stern.
Just hang out somewhere.
Where?
It was. I helped out at Jack Ferrier's moving shoot. I don't know what it's called. Sorry.
Jack Farrier, the director?
Yeah.
So, you have time to lope around town with some hotshot director that came, but you can't even take the effort to go to school?
I need to do something to take my mind off.
Yes, your friend that died not 2 days ago, and here you are traipsing around without a care in the world. Sit down, and he points at the seat in front of him.
Then what do you want me to do? You want me to walk around in my room? Is that it?
I am telling you to take more responsibility for yourself. And he stands up, and then he walks towards you at the threshold of the kitchen door, and he looks down at you, and he's using his his dad voice, basically the kind of voice that dads use in order to get their kids to own up to like whatever mistake, perceived or not, that they have done. And he goes, "Is there anything you would like to tell me?"
I don't know. I am confused. I don't even know what I see that day.
Oh, don't give me that. Don't give me all of that shit. Where is it? And he points a finger at your face. Where is it? Where did you hide it?
What?
You really gonna play this game with me, huh? Do you want me to go into your room and tear it apart looking for it? Do you know how serious this is, what you did?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
James's gun disappeared from the police station, and I have a feeling that you have something to do with it. Did you or did you not? Take it.
I didn't take the gun.
Don't lie to me.
Go to my room and check all you want. I don't have the gun with me.
And he sort of like pauses, like he takes a deep breath and sort of like almost like calming himself. And he looks at you again. Into your eyes. Do you hold his gaze?
Yes. I look straight back at him.
And he stares. And then he sighs and says, "Go to your room."
I just stand up and walk back to my room without saying a thing.
Wake up on time tomorrow. I'm sending you to school.
Okay.
And you make your way upstairs into your room. And what is Cyrus feeling as he slams his bedroom door shut behind him?
He's just very confused. He don't know what to think anymore. at first he's already confused enough as to what he saw that day, and now went back to home with his dad, like not accusing, but suspect him being the killer.
No, he doesn't suspect you of being the killer, but he suspects you of stealing James's gun, which has apparently
Oh.
disappeared from the sheriff's office.
Okay, yeah, it's just a little bit sad and confused.
All right, and with that thought in Cyrus's head, he goes off to sleep. And the next morning comes, and this time I will remember to switch you all to the day map, which I
Yeah.
have not done the past 2 sessions. Like we start at one
Oh, no,
day.
another drawing.
Yeah, this
Oh.
drawing. I remember this drawing.
Oh no! What
I
the
don't remember the other one, but I remember this one.
what is?
New
Oh,
version?
yeah, apparently. Okay.
So call the artist, baby.
Wow. All right. So the next morning, Matthew, you wake up in your room to the sun streaming in from your windows. And Dustin, you do the same. Both of you have sort of like, well, I was gonna say you have been conditioned to wake up at this time, but then I realized that I remember that alarm clocks are a thing, so you probably have alarm clocks because it is Wednesday and it is still a school day. And so the two of you wake up sort of like at the same time with each other. And what are the two of you up to?
I would go back to my normal routine. I would say early in the morning, wake up, go down, see if there's any movement from the house. Did the mom came back or anything?
So going downstairs is the first thing you do when you wake up?
Yes.
All right. So as you sort of like head downstairs and you sort of look around the room and you hear a voice from the kitchen go, Matthew, is that you? And it's your mom.
Morning.
Can you come here for a
I must say
second?
just morning.
I need
Yeah.
to talk to you about something.
How's the tone of the voice?
Mom tone, very neutral.
It's not like you're gonna get into deep shit tone.
It is that neutral tone where
Okay.
depending on what you say, it will either be a tongue lashing or a normal day.
So calm before the storm.
Yes, it is a tread carefully tone.
Okay. I'll just say the word morning. Then when she says come here, I'll just go.
All right, and you go into the kitchen and you can see that your mom has sort of like, she looks really tired. Like she has like this, the bags under her eyes is sort of like a staple, but it has gotten a bit deeper since the last time you saw her, and her hair is a bit frazzled. But even then, she sort of like prepared breakfast for you and Dustin, and she is standing, both her hands on the table, and in front of her, by her fingers, is the contract and your note that you left behind. And she goes, "What is this?"
Okay. There was this director who came to our
Yes, I
door
know, Jack Farrier.
yesterday.
What about him?
Yes, he wanted a little a role for my little brother Dustin.
Yes, I know who Dustin is.
Yes. So I was thinking it did pay well, but after a good night's sleep, I came to realize it was a terrible idea. In my head, I'm just flashing back the murder scene and all that in my head. I'm like, yeah, no. So that note was written yesterday, but after a good night's sleep, I don't think Dustin is fit here.
And you stay at home this whole time?
No.
She sort of takes a deep breath. Did you go to the film set?
Yes.
Matthew, I thought I taught you better than this, than to just waltz off towards who knows where with people that you don't know. And I'm guessing you brought your brother with you as well?
At this point, my head will be all the way down. Yes.
At least you have the wherewithal to not sign anything. Like, yes, I know that money is tight right now, but this is not the way. We don't know who this person is. Yes, I know you've heard of him before, Jax Farrier, horror director extraordinaire, but that is Hollywood. That is the persona he projects. We do not know what he's like in real life or what the company that he works for is like. We do not know what will happen if we sign this contract. Do you understand?
At the end of the day, we didn't sign it. Isn't that what counts?
I suppose you're right. I don't want you or Dustin to go anywhere near that film set anymore, okay?
What if he comes knocking again? The man in the white car with a fancy suit.
Tell him,
Oh,
don't open the door, and if he insists, tell him that you're not gonna speak, that your mom told you not to talk to strangers, alright?
I'll just quietly nod. Yes.
Alright, go fetch your brother. Breakfast's getting cold.
I think
Yeah, move up.
halfway through the speech, Dustin comes in and he goes, "But mom, the set is cool. I make new friends there. Even see alien. Everything is cool around there. I want to go."
Yes, I know, Dustin, that everything looks shiny, you know? Like, it's the Hollywood effect, you know? Everything is pretty and glamorized, but reality
But
is a bit more complex. We don't know. Like, just think about it. Why would this big shot director suddenly come to us, a small family in the middle of nowhere, wanting to hire you, my child, barely out of high school, barely out of middle school, to act in this film? That's extremely suspicious, don't you think?
because I'm cool, ma, and I won in math
Oh my
competition.
god.
I stand out in school. Probably they hear something about me from around town. You know how cool I am around town, right? With my jokes and all. People love my jokes.
Oh
Dustin.
god.
We'll talk about this later. Have your breakfast.
Okay, ma.
And eventually, she takes the note from and the contract from the table, and she sort of crumples the note and throws it in the dustbin. And she was about to throw the contract as well. Then she just folds it, and then just slides it into one of her drawers before she joins the two of you at the breakfast table. And he goes, "I have an early shift tonight. I can't stay here for long. Y'all can get to school all right?"
As always.
All right. And after y'all eat your food, she finishes up. She begins to sort of like change. She doesn't even shower. She just change into her nurse's scrub. And as she's leaving, he goes, "To school and back home, all right?"
I think we go yes, ma, together.
Yeah, I think I'll just go yes, mom, in unison.
And her eyes are like narrows a bit. It's you know that when your children are just
I got my eye on you.
yeah, it's like when your children is suspiciously obedient and you're just like and then she leaves. And after a while, you hear her car drives off and sputters into the distance. And now the two of you are left alone. What do you do?
I look at my brother and I go, "We are going back. We are going back."
Oh shit, don't put me in this situation, man. This is the player saying it.
Yeah, I'm 10 years old. I don't take responsibility.
10-year-olds have no rationality.
Mhm.
Who is the one who's gonna suffer?
Are we?
You know, I need to play into my flaw.
Oh,
Yes, do it.
yes.
Yeah, I'm greedy as shit.
Yes.
Money.
Money. I'm gonna sit down there. You know what, Dustin? Did I see her put the contract in?
Yeah, you see where she puts the paper.
We'll see if Howard comes back or not today. After school, I mean. We still have to go to school.
All right.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, did I cut off? Yeah, I'll say
A bit.
we'll okay. I'll say we'll see if Howard comes back later tonight today after we come back from school. I'm gonna go to the drawer and go and take the contract out and then like keep it for myself.
All right.
Yeah.
This
Promise, right?
this is the
Eh?
telltale moment. This action will
Yeah,
have consequences appear at the top.
Dear goodness.
Yeah. Does Dustin still remember the carving on the table?
Yeah, you saw the carving, and also you do you remember your brother asking you to draw the claw that you saw and to show him.
Oh, yeah. That was in the night page.
Yep.
That was the one I drew.
The one with the long schlong.
No.
Dear
Okay.
goodness.
Sorry, I'm way too immature for this.
But yeah, I'll say Myth. Your brother does show you the drawing that he did, and it does look different from the claw that you saw come out from the hole that grabbed Leon. It is different.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say
Noticed.
you brought Dustin that you brought out to just show the drawing you did, and strangely enough, the symbol is no longer on the table,
What?
and it leaves you, Dustin, feeling as if you just hallucinated it. Like, yeah, you're probably seeing things.
Oh dear. I Dustin tried to argue a bit. I think he sees his brother leave, and then he just stays there, stare at the table for a while. Probably, I'm seeing things. It's late night. See too much scene. He just brush it off.
All right, and with that, the two of you grab your stuff, hop onto your bike, and cycle to school.
Yes, I want my plot. I want more plot. Time
Where's the
to restock.
supplier?
Time to make business again.
Yep.
Oh, you gotta do business again.
Yes,
Yeah, it's been a while.
it has been a while.
And so we will now fast forward a bit to school itself. As Saf, you begin to I'm guessing you're jogging your way back to school, like your typical routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And as you do, jogging into you notice that again the shrine dedicated to both James and Jordan is still there. And there are a couple of people still paying their respects, though not as many as yesterday. And you noticed one familiar figure there. The familiar blonde hair, broad shoulder, and the Creek Hollow jersey of Ryan Vanderbilt standing in front of Jordan's shrine, hands in his pockets, just staring. What do you do?
Um, I think I like kind of cautiously walk up to him and make sure that he notices me before I put a hand on his back.
And as he sort of notices, he sort of tilts towards you, like, "Oh, Saf," and then he sort of looks away and he sort of rubs his eye a bit. "Didn't see you there. How are you?"
Mm. Well, not doing that great, but I think a little better than the past 2 days. You? How about you?
And he's sort of like, "Oh, that's not almost a very. It's a very bitter scoff. What isn't wrong? Two of our, my friend, two of our fellow, two of us are just dead, and my dad couldn't even have the decency to. All he cares about is that stupid film set and revitalizing Creek Hollow or some other bullshit. Sorry."
Throughout this entire time, Saf is just like nodding and kind of patting his back a little bit just to give him some semblance of comfort.
At least Deputy Mayor Borman is actually doing something. She actually cares. And
She is? What is she doing?
Admittedly, not that much considering her hands are tied, but at least she is directing some assistance to the sheriff's department in order to try to hunt down whatever animal it was that attacked us on Monday. It's not much, but it's something. I've even heard that she is putting in a call to animal control. Hopefully, they respond.
And at that moment, Saf just takes a deep breath and just sighs and yeah, hopefully. You wanna go in? Or do you wanna stay out here for a second?
He looks back at the shrine, at Jordan's smiling face. I think I'm done. And then he begins walking with you by his side towards school. And school, it's as if nothing has happened. Things are already coming. You know that very school like culture where, you know, something happened and then like after like a day or two everything just calmed down no matter like how serious it is.
Mm.
And the same is true for Creek Hollow High, even despite how small the school is. Like, people still whisper here and there about what happened that fateful night on Monday, but for the most part, it is life as usual, and it is very jarring for you, Saf, and for the other three of you who are now sort of going up to your classes. And Cyrus, your teacher is extremely surprised to see you not only arriving on time, but arriving at all. And he was like, "Oh, good of you to join us, Mr. Jimenez.
I'm just gonna nod my head.
Hope you remember where you sit."
I'm just gonna ignore this shit.
And as you sort of take a seat, you do draw some stares for everyone, and people do whispers as you walk past them and take your seat. And you also notice that for some reasons, Piper and Vince are also in class with you. And as you're sort of like walking towards your seat, you make eye contact with Piper and she just winks at you with a shit-eating grin, knowing what you had to go through yesterday.
You. I will think of something. I'm me thinking out loud.
Vince just gives an apologetic shrug and gives a look that says, "She dragged me along. It's not my fault." And you know Vince, he's a bit of a pushover, so this comes as no surprise to you. And oh yeah, you were saying?
No, go on.
Okay. And so Myth, you also go into your class, and I would say that you are able to sell your plop as usual, setting up inside your toilet stall and making a purchase. And I will say that over the course of that, before you go to class, you do hear, as you know, just, you know, sometimes you like to make small talk with the people that you're selling your candy to. You do hear like there are of certain rumors that has been circulating around the school. The rumor of the day, basically. You hear that Ryan Vanderbilt was seen arguing with his father, the mayor, outside his house. About what, you don't know, but it got pretty heated. You also hear that Jack Ferrier shoot in Creek Hollow is supposed to last until Friday.
Today is Wednesday.
Yes, so he'll be in town for 2 more days, basically. And then,
Are there any rumors about Leon?
About who?
Leon.
Oh, Leon. Okay, you sort of asked one of your regular customer. Oh yeah, Leon, that was the kid that was shooting his death scene yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard he left town. You know, like that was his final shoot for this entire project. So once it was done, his parents just sort of packed him up and left. Apparently, he has another gig up north.
I give him extra candy for that knowledge.
Yeah. Just for the lols, I would say that this is the exact same guy that gave you your rumor from session 1. and I will give
The
you
trustworthy guy.
Yep. And
The
I will
guy.
and I will give you Myth the honor
Yeah.
of naming this person, and I will add him into the youngsters list.
Ayo.
Yo,
Man.
I haven't come up with a name yet. I'm not prepared.
I
I'll
just-
come up with a name.
All right. So I would just say Myth Snitch.
Informant.
Oh yeah, Informant is better. Snitch is a bit too. All right, there you go. Myth's Informant is now in the Creek Hollow Denizens Youngsters list. All right, and with that, you head into your class, and Dustin, you head back into your class, and when you see that, you are instantly bombarded by questions from Parker, your friend. Hey, are you doing all right, Dustin? You didn't come to school yesterday. I heard that you were at the party on Monday. Did you see what it was? And then Misty's
Yeah.
like, Parker, calm down. Let him speak.
Yeah, man, I was at the set. People were shooting movies. I was caught there. My brother was there. We had a good time.
And then Parker's like, whoa, what was it like? Like, did you see the
cool.
monster?
Yeah, we saw the monster, but it's not as cool as the alien, though. I bet you guys haven't seen the alien.
No, my parents don't really let me watch this kind of movies. And you hear Misty goes, wuss. It's not, they don't let me. It's not that I don't want to watch it. I like horror movies. I don't get scared. And he says very insecurely.
Betcha.
And then, and then Parker's like, oh, speaking of, did you hear that the town watch met up yesterday and they plan to do like patrols around town? And you know that the town watch is sort of like not really an official thing. It's more like a volunteer thing among the adults, because the police force in Creek Hollow is just literally one sheriff and 2 deputies. So the town watch is sort of like formed among like the townsfolk of Creek Hollow in order to help alleviate it a bit, and so they will occasionally meet up, talk about the kind of crimes that happen in Creek Hollow, set up like patrols here and there. And so
Yeah.
Parker is like, yeah, apparently they're gonna patrol like around the edge of town to watch out for any of those wild beasts, in case anything happened again. And then Misty, like, who is still buried at a book, is like, huh, is that all you got? Did you? And then she sort of looks up conspiratorially at you, Dustin, and he goes, I heard that Miss Hudson missed her weekly book club meeting yesterday. And you know that Mrs. Hudson is Patricia Hudson, James's mom, the one.
Yeah, the wife
Yes.
to the first victim.
Yep. The first
Ooh,
and
what a-
second victim.
Yeah, yes.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Ooh.
yeah.
That's a
whole
hard
family is
hitter.
gone.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Dear.
then Misty is like, no one knows where she is. I mean, she's probably cooped up at her house, but strange, isn't it? She hasn't missed a single day of book club in 25 years.
And she's missing from last night?
Apparently, I mean, I don't know if she's just cooped up at home, which I guess that makes sense considering what happened, but, just something that I heard floating around.
Yeah, Dustin probably don't pay much attention to Mrs. Hudson. It's a book club, nothing interested. But he is interested at the patrol group. Does that mean we have curfew? We have can't go out in the night,
And
something like that.
Misty sort of shrugs. Apparently, it's still in the early phases of discussion, but I mean, I guess we'll find out more tonight when they have their next meeting, so we'll see.
Okay.
Why do you ask? And she narrows her. Are you planning to sneak out again tonight?
No, no. We promised our mom we'll stay home tonight. We are good boys now.
That is such a huge lie. But Misty doesn't believe you for a second, but she's like, she has a very laissez-faire attitude, so she's like, eh. And it is that at that point the teacher comes in and your classes start. And now, Saf, what is your mood going through yet another day of classes?
I think that their temper and just like annoyance with all of it simmers down just a little bit. They start to feel a little bit more sympathetic as they are now actually processing what's happened. Because before this, they just didn't want to talk about it, just was deflecting and didn't want to put their mind on it. But now, it's not like acceptance. It's just like, mm, the thing happened. It happened, and I was there. I was right in front of. I was right there. So I think that they're just looking a little tense, looking a little like queasy at times, but trying to steal through the day.
All right. And it is with that mindset that caused you to sort of like jump in fright a bit when the PSA in your classroom come to life and you hear a voice goes, "Hello students, this is your vice principal speaking. May I please call Cyrus Jimenez, Matthew Rodriguez, Seth Desauer Goodman, Paula Chen, Piper Chen, Vince Campbell, and Dustin Rodriguez to come by the principal's office, please?" And then the PSA repeats. And as it repeats, all eyes, including your teachers, turn towards you, Saf. And you can see Ryan as well, who's one of your classmates, looks at you and sort of like gives mouth like, "What's going on?" kind of thing. And how do you respond?
Saf just like looks back at him, just like I don't know. I don't know. And they kind of like hesitantly do I have to like take my bags and everything? I have no idea.
Oh, that's up to you.
I think I'm gonna take my just like hesitantly like put my bag on my shoulder and just like look over at Ryan, just like the entire time, just like I don't know what's going on. I don't know, just like unsure, shrugging, just like
He also does the unsure shrugging and gives you like two very wobbly thumbs up.
Ooh. And then I just give like a like the emoji where it's like the teeth and just like
The grimace.
yeah, it's just the grimace, just like
All right, and with that,
and then I head off. Yeah.
and you head off. And Cyrus, you inside your classroom, the moment that PSA announced, instantly whispers start bursting out among all of the other students. This is not your first time being called to the principal's office, so this is like your like
I'm
typical,
regular.
yeah. And then your teacher's like, "Oh look, it's your regular visitor. Why don't you can't keep him waiting?"
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand up and just walk out.
Yeah. As you do, as you walk, you can hear like snippets of like some of the conversation. All of it, most of it is like things you're already familiar with, bringing up like 10th eye, bringing up animals, death, that kind of stuff, and it just sort of like, I think by this point, like, does it still affect you, this rumor?
Nah. It's like used to it already. I mean, it is a fact that animals just randomly died around me. At some point, Cyrus just believe it.
All right, and with that, you leave your classroom. Myth, what is your reaction when your name is called?
Yeah, I'll be like, oh shit. The principal know what when the name came up, I was like, oh shit, the principal know I'm selling candy.
Shit, the cops
as-
on me!
Yeah, as more names come up, I'm like, okay, maybe not. Okay. The more the names come out, right, it gets more and more sus until it hits Cyrus. I'm like, okay, it's definitely not candy.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you- I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that reminds me, Cyrus, Piper and Vince also follow along with you. Piper has like a look on her face, like also a usual, but Vince is like, "Why am I being called? I didn't do anything." But and then Piper's like, "Just follow," and then he sort of like, and she sort of like tucks his sleeve, but my parents are gonna kill me, and he's dragged out, and the two of them follow close behind you, Cyrus. And now, Dustin, the moment the PSA say your name, because you were the final name, the moment your name said, Misty, without a single second goes, what did you do?
Probably the director is here to drag me to another scene. I don't know, showing
Oh
off.
my
And then one of the other classmates, what? Jack Ferrier approached you? And then everyone starts clamoring for questions throughout the room, and the teacher is like, everyone calm down, settle down, let Dustin go to the office, don't delay. And everyone's just like shouting. And how are you responding to this?
Half-heartedly, he is still wanting to show off, but what he did was, how Tom Holland suddenly leaked something
Yeah.
about the Marvel the movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he goes,
Sweating, just sweating.
I should have said this. Then he ran off to principal office.
All right. And so, the four of you, and of course Cyrus with 2 spares in tow, head in the direction of the principal's office. Now, the principal's office isn't like very fancy. It is literally one of the many doors that line one of the hallway that you, the students of Creek Hollow, have dubbed the teacher's den, because you have the teacher's lounge, the teacher's office, the principal's office, the vice principal's office, and the school therapist's office, all just pressed into that one little wing. And so all of you head in that direction, and I would say partway through, all the 4 of you sort of like met up with each other and make eye contact as you're heading. And what are your responses seeing the 4 of you apparently being called together?
I'm gonna look at Seth and say, so what did you do?
Me? Why are you looking at me? I don't do anything. I think that this is about the thing, you know?
What thing? And you see behind Paula approaches. And as she approaches, Piper, who heard her voice, just, oh, fuck me. And then Paula's like, why am I not surprised that you are here as well, Piper? Oh, get stuff, you're here too. You're in just as much trouble as me.
Mm.
And as
The thing. The thing. Don't make me say it. The thing. You know?
I mean, you don't. At that, Piper is just like, you don't really need to keep it secret. We were all there. And then Vince is like, to be fair, we kind of dipped halfway through. Shut up. It's fine. It's probably nothing. Baby Farrier found out that we weren't supposed to be there. It'll be fine. And it is at that moment you see, approaching from not in the direction of the teacher's office, but from down another hallway, you see another person approached, another student, and he is dressed fairly well kempt. His hair is sort of like, it's like very try hard professional, like, the kind of hair that is like sort of like slicked back, but on him it just makes him look like he's balding.
Yes.
Yeah, with the hair like pushed back, and he wears like these bespectacle glasses that is it's a very Clark Kent kind of glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And in one hand he's like holding a very large notebook, and you recognize who this is. This is Donald Borman, the son of Deputy Mayor Borman, and also the president of the newspaper club. And he approaches and sees all of you. Ah, you're all here. Great. And then as he sort of like notices your face again. Oh, don't worry, none of you are in trouble. Perks of being the deputy mayor's son. I was able to get the principal to sort of like call all of you here. Why don't you follow me? Come on.
So we're not going to the principal?
Do you want to go to the principal?
And Seth just like looks at him just like, oh my god. And they say, no.
Great.
But is this really important?
Of course it is. I wouldn't have called you here if it wasn't. I wouldn't have abused my position as the son of the deputy mayor if it wasn't important. This is not something that I do, all right? Abuse of power is something that I am firmly against, but...
Okay, kid, I get it. All right, lead the
I
way.
rather go to the principal.
all right. And all of you begin to follow. Some of you reluctantly, some of you just like maybe out of, I would say Piper follows out of curiosity. Vince follows Piper because Vince is the follower, and Paula sort of like shares a look with you, Saf, like what the hell is going on, before also walking.
Well, so Paula's face is just like of confusion.
Yeah, it's just like the kind of look is like, what? This is random.
And I also just shrug. I'm like,
All right, and I'm guessing Cyrus, you are the one that's basically dragging your feet.
Yeah. Dude.
Because I will say that you are very familiar with Donald Borman against your will, because of the numerous times he keeps trying to come to you for an interview about your stint with the 10th Eye. And what are your comments about the fact that you are a walking aura of animal killing?
oh my god.
Like, no filters. He just asked you all of that at some point in the past few months. And how do you respond to him in those few times, just to establish your relationship with Donald Borman?
I just tried my best to ignore him.
It's like,
You know? It's like, just every time I see him, I walk the other way.
and then immediately the next day, the school newspaper said, "The mysterious boy with something to hide." Question mark, question mark, question mark.
There's no good answers for this.
And then there's a dramatic picture of you looking over your shoulder very sketchily, and then there are like question mark. The background is black and with more question mark and other words, something to hide. Other like, those very conspiracy theory edits onto the newspaper. And then you get like a 2-page spread about you. You gave him nothing and he stretched it to 2 pages.
Man, clickbait
I mean,
master.
that's the job of writers, right? Just stretching anything ever.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah. And so he sort of like leads you all towards like the first floor, the second. I keep forgetting. America, ground floor is first floor. First floor is second floor. Because there's no ground floor there.
That sucks.
I know, right?
Boo America.
Yeah, but since we are in an American game, I am forced to utilize such language. And so you all head to the second floor, which is the first floor for us. He leads all of you to one of the club rooms here, which is for the newspaper club, and there is no one there. It is just him. He is the president of the newspaper club and the only member. And so like you enter into this vaguely rectangular room with a lot of like shelves along the side and lots of like articles of like old newspaper that is printed, and towards one corner there's a large heavy duty printer, the kind where you press one button and instantly print like 20 papers in like less than 30 seconds or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the most expensive piece of hardware that you've seen in school. And yeah, his mom probably got it for him. And then there's like a couple of writing desks along the side, and in the middle there is like a couple of those like study tables and like pushed together to form like this long conference table with chairs, and he gestures towards that middle makeshift conference table and go, "Please have a seat." And as he walks towards the head of the table. And as all of you take your seat, and he stands at the head, he doesn't sit down, and he sort of like places his notebook onto the table in front of him and goes, "Now, you must be wondering why I called you here."
Wait, hold on. How old is this kid again?
He's like 1 year your senior.
1 year my senior?
Yes.
17?
Yeah.
I'm still calling him a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to do the, use one finger to push his glasses from the middle bridge up. That very nerdy way of doing it.
Oh my god.
Still got a bit of like baby fat chubs on his cheeks.
He's still a kid to me.
All right, so what do you say?
What do I say?
Yeah, you said that you want to say something, right? As he said, "You must be wondering why I brought you here."
Oh no. I just wanted to ask about his age.
Oh, okay. So, I'm sure you would have figured out by now that the 7 of you... Wait, is it actually 7? Did I counted correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, the 7 of you were not only some of you were involved in that horrible tragedy on Monday, but the 7 of you were there at the film set yesterday. Am I correct in this assumption?
And how would you know?
I have my ways.
Weirdo.
Wow.
All right, look.
Let's say if we were, what do you want from us?
The only thing that matters, information and the truth. Now, I'm sure all of you, as fellow citizens, we were all born here, and we know that Creek Hollow has had its fair share of history. Most of it true, some of it false, and many of it covered up. We have lots of legends. The statue of Farmer McDowey moving around at night. That one's false. I can attest to that. I slept near that statue for 3 days over the weekend, and it did not move even once.
Oh my god. You can just see Seth like visibly cringing, like, oh
I'm
god.
looking with judging
Oh my
eyes.
god.
And
Feels like you are younger than Dustin.
yeah, and we all know that the Rat War of '58 really happened, but did not happen in the way that it
What?
was. Yeah, the rats.
Oh, the rat war.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I remember now.
Yeah, they call it the Rat War.
Okay.
But the thing is, the foundation of all of these Creek Hollow legends, these myths, there are truths behind it, or rather, they have their basis set in truth. And I have spent the past few years trying to decode that truth, and I am getting very close. I am missing a couple of essential pieces, and I believe that the 7 of you have the pieces I need.
Quick question: how many people read your paper?
So, while you were at Jack Ferry's film set, you brushed past it in...
Dude, how many people read your paper? Do you know?
Oh, I don't keep track of viewership. I'm in
How
it.
many copies do you need to print?
About... How many people are there in Creek Hollow again?
Mm.
I mean, in Creek Hollow High.
In Creek Hall.
Also-
Wait, are you asking
No.
in character or?
Yeah. Yeah, let's put that question out to you. How many people do you think Creek Hollow High would have, like students? Both the kindergartens, middle school, and high school.
Wow, that sounds reminiscent of my actual school. About like, this is a small town, right?
Yeah. I would say the population is probably like around like in like the low 4 figures, like 1,000 something.
So then I'd say like maybe like less than 400 students.
All right. So, and he goes 400 copies. Okay, maybe 300. I don't think kindergartners read newspapers. So, yeah.
Mm.
Cyrus does not trust him one bit.
And you want to hear why? Because I feel like, frankly, this is wasting our time.
All right. Look.
I don't know about and I look at everyone and I don't know if this is wasting your time, but I feel like this is wasting my time, and I would like to leave.
All right, fine. I understand. School is important. Knowledge is important. Education
No,
is important.
no, I just don't want to be here. I don't want you poking and prodding. It's honestly disrespectful. It's only been like what, a few days, and you can't keep your grubby little hands off of whatever information piece when people are mourning. You know who he was to me, and still I am here for what?
Yes, and I know how much he means to you. That is one of the reasons why I called you, because I know for a fact that the sheriff's department is not equipped to deal with whatever it is that killed your friend or yours. And he looks at you, Cyrus. I know you saw something out there. I read your interview report. And I believe you. There is something secret in Creek Hollow that the adults don't want us to know, that they're trying to keep from us. And I intend to get to the bottom of this. Now, I understand that you don't trust me and you can say that it is in poor taste. So, I will let you all go for now. But let me tell you this. Just indulge me this one question. How much do you
To get
know?
up, it's Sam just like wants to get up and just leave.
Yeah.
Just dart out the door.
Alright. How much do you know about Earl Miller? And I will say for those of you, how many of you among all of you would you consider yourself to be movie buffs?
Dustin, man.
Okay.
Dustin is.
All right. And what about you, Saf?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Cyrus?
Wait, movie what?
A movie buff.
Meaning you
Yeah.
watch a lot of movies?
Yes.
Wait, we do watch movie when we hang out, so I guess kinda.
All right.
A little.
All right. And what about you, Myth?
Nope.
Okay. So Dustin, I'll say Dustin, Cyrus, Piper, and Vince. 4 of you know who Earl Miller is. Earl Miller is also a very iconic horror director back from the 50s. And he is the founder of Miller Films, the company that Jack Farrier is now the CEO of. Earl Miller is widely considered to be Jack Farrier's teacher, with him being his apprentice. And Jack Farrier is basically part of the reason why he goes into the film and make the kind of movies he does is as a tribute to Earl Miller. So with this context, how do you answer Donald?
Wow. Oh, is he the one who makes alien movie?
No, this is a fictional character.
Yeah.
He's
asking
Dustin
him,
now.
character.
Okay. You know what? Let's just make up a random name for one of his hit classic horror movies.
Yeah.
Killer Bees from Beneath the Ground.
Okay.
Oh wow.
That's a suitably 50s name.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
A pulp
Cool.
classic, you've watched it before. The practical effects for the bee suits was amazing, as when it stings someone and they explode. Ugh, amazing. It scarred you for life, but it was amazing.
So upon hearing the name Earl Miller, I go Killer Bee.
Yes, exactly him. Yes, famous horror movie extraordinaire, just like his apprentice, Jack Fair. Now, a lesser known fact about Earl Miller is that he is a very open occultist. He dabbles into the dark arts, and I believe that he passed on that trait of his to his apprentice as well, Jack Farrier. And in case you do not keep up with Creek Hollow history like me, Earl Miller was in Creek Hollow in 1958, the year of the Rat War of 58, the same year that Farmer McDowey Smith disappeared, and the same year that the cult called 10th Eye, and he looks at you again, Cyrus, was operating here in Creek Hollow, and left just as quickly a few months before Earl Miller himself left, having filmed his own movie here. In fact, almost down to the day that Jack Farrier is now here. You cannot tell me that that is not a coincidence.
Steph is getting heartburn from just like being so pissed off right now. They do not want to be here. They are trying. They're just like they want to leave. They're a bit curious, but also like the heartburn. It's like it's too much. I think they just want to leave. Like
Alright.
not like leave like the compound, but just like maybe also just like stand outside the door.
Alright.
So maybe I can like eavesdrop a little,
Okay. And after he's
but not be in the room.
All right. And so after he says all of that, he goes, all right, if you are all interested in what I have to say, come to my place after school and we can discuss this further. All right. And he lets all of you go. And as all of you begin to file up, he goes, Cyrus, I need to talk to
Yes?
you for a bit.
What do you want?
And he waits until all the others have left, and Piper and Vince sort of like lingers for a bit and looks at you with a look that says, do you want backup?
Backup for what?
Yeah, just to
exactly?
get like you've all established that
support.
he is because they know about Donald's very intrusive questions and his hit pieces on you, so they're just saying for like moral support, like, do you want us to stay with you, that kind of thing.
Vince and Piper can stay.
All right, fine. And he looks at you, Cyrus, and goes, "How much do you know about your family lineage?"
Oh my god.
Not much, exactly.
I can imagine your father is probably very tight-lipped about it, right? Probably never told you about his brother.
He have a brother?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. And I will say that you have never heard of this before in your life. That you And he goes, "Yes, your father, James, has an older brother by 1 year, Carlos Jimenez."
How come I never heard of him?
I mean, considering what happened to him, I would not be surprised why he kept it from you. And here he sort of like goes a bit more somber, like understanding the mood of what he's saying.
What exactly happened to him?
I don't believe it is my place to tell you this, but if you really don't trust me, ask your father who his brother is, and ask who your great grandfather is. And if that convinces you, you know where to find me after school.
Okay, but oh man, knowing you know this much about me, it feels weird.
It's all in the public records. Well, sealed public records. I have access because, deputy mayor's son.
Still, that's not exactly what a normal
Ew.
people would do.
Yeah. I mean, dear, if you want, I can bring you to those articles. But again, I think it would be better if it comes from your father himself.
Okay, let's go. And I just signal to Piper and Winston, just head out.
And as you're as you're like sort of like close the door, you just hear Donald go, "Keep an open mind," as you close it. And then outside, Vince and Piper are looking at you. "What was that all about?" Piper says.
I don't fucking know.
"So, are we gonna entertain him? Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of curious. I kind of see what he has to say." And then Vince is like, "You do? I think he's a whack job."
He's not exactly wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll make a decision once I ask my dad about Carlos, if he's even real.
All right. But I mean, whether you're coming or not, I'm going because either this will be extremely juicy or it'll be extremely hilarious, and I want to be there to see it. And with that, and she like slaps you in the back as the three of you head back to class. And we'll say that not much else happened throughout the rest of the school day, and let's just get a quick snippet of what's going on in your head. Matthew, what is going through your head after hearing all of that from Donald?
Oh, so many things. First things first, what's going through my head is that information pays. I have things that he needs to listen. I have a price. Yeah, so in my head, I'm thinking about, that's a ching.
All
He
right.
is rich.
Yes, he is the son of the mayor.
Yeah, the
There's
deputy
bound to
mayor.
be some money. Yeah, deputy mayor. And then I also have the contract. I can dangle that, if you want more insider information, here's the ticket. Convince me enough, pay me enough for me to sign it.
All right. So you're planning to visit him after school.
Yes.
All right. And now we jump to Dustin. So as you arrive back in class, you are basically Misty and Parker just basically look at you and go, do you have detention?"
No, and it's not the director either. It's some weird guy, yada yada blah 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 about about another director.
Also, did you change your mic? You sound completely different now.
I think he's using his phone.
Yeah.
I just did. Is it better or is it worse?
I think this one it picks up a lot more background noise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's okay. It happens.
Let's see what I can do about it.
Alright, I guess while we wait for you to, we'll cut back to you later. So let's go to Saf. What is going through your head right now?
Uh, uh, I think I think my heart is actually like going a little bit too fast. Can we like slow down for a second?
Oh, all right.
Uh, just the probing and the yeah. Can we take a break maybe?
Oh, sure. All right. We're gonna jump into a short 5-10 minute break, and then we're gonna be back after that. See you all soon. Bye. All right, and we are back. All right, so let's continue on. Dustin, so what is your response to your friends probing you in? As Miss C goes, do you have detention?
Yeah, I look at the Parker and Misty, and my face is sad to tell that I'm disappointed. No, it's not the director. No, it's not some guy. It's just a random guy from our school. I don't know. He went blah 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 yada yada yada.
And as you said that, you see kind of just and they all just, they have been like listening in. The moment you say that, they all just go back to doing their own thing.
Okay.
Your 10 second of fame is over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and with that, we're gonna go to Saf. What is going through your head right now?
That was so weird. And they just want to like get away as far as possible. Doesn't care if they're gonna miss their other classes.
Alright.
Just kind of wants to go home.
All right, so you head home early.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get to that a bit later then.
Mm.
Okay, so now we skip through the classes, go, fine. Eventually, your classes end, and all of you begin to leave. And as you do, Cyrus, you are followed by Piper and Vince with the intention for the three of you to head to Donna Borman's house, is it?
Wait,
Was that your
going
plan?
to his house, not the school club?
No, to his house.
Okay, I'm head to a phone booth first.
All right. Actually, before you are even able to do that, as you're like sort of like coming out from your school gate, you see your father's car there,
Oh,
waiting for you.
oh, okay.
As your friends notice that, and Piper, ooh, look like the parental units are here. See if you can sneak out of the house later.
All right. Just leave them and head towards my dad's car.
All right, I'll see you there. And Piper and Vince leaves you, and you head towards your father's car. Is it?
Yeah.
All right. You step in, and he goes, had plans?
Sorta.
Too bad. And he drives you back home.
Wow. Okay, sorry. So, what led to this? I thought you were supposed to be working.
I took a half day.
Why?
And he sort of like gives, and he just continues looking out the front, out his windshield, and goes, "Why do you think?"
I don't know. I just so Dad, this might came out of nowhere, but do I have an uncle?
You can see the car sort of like lurch a bit, and after a while, like, even though the cars are like lurch a bit, like it's just almost like a brief acceleration before it goes back to normal, and his face you see is just still his usual, that expression that parents put on when they just want to like stop you from knowing anything. And then he goes after a long pause, "No. Who filled your head with that garbage?"
I won't say he's my friend, but someone I know says that in public records, there's someone called Carlos Jimenez that is supposed to be my uncle.
And he continues to drive. And it is just pin drop silence for the rest of the way home. It is very awkward. It is very heavy. And eventually, your car pulls up in front of your house. And he goes, "Get inside."
So
And
do
he,
I? Okay.
"Get inside first."
Okay.
And he also leaves the car and he follows closely behind you. Sets foot into the house, closes the door, and he sort of like faces it for a second as he locks it. And you can see like you don't really know whether he's like trying to calm himself or like stealing himself. And he goes, "Yes, I did have a brother long ago."
How come you never mentioned to me about him?
Because he died.
But still, I think I have the right to know that I have an uncle.
And he turns and looks at you. And you can see, though he's still stone faced, you can see his eyes, there are like a hint of like pain in it. And he goes, "I try not to think about him too much. And you shouldn't too."
I mean, why?
Because he got your grandparents killed.
Huh. Sorry, that's just me. That's not Cyrus. What?
Sit down. And he gestures at the dining room.
Okay.
You go and sit. And he also takes a seat, sort of like adjacent from you. And he goes, "Carlos was always the wild child. Always out exploring the woods, climbing trees, bringing insects and frogs back home. And I was more of the studious ones, the good boy, if you will."
Yeah, of
But-
course. Like,
And he sort of gives you a look. And he goes,
sorry.
"Then, one day, when we were 12... Actually, no. One day when... How old are you right now?
I'm 15.
Yeah. And he's like, one day when he was about your age, he had, up until that point, maintained a collection of little creatures that he collected from the forest, like frogs and worms that he keeps inside these glass cages that he bought off of I don't even know who, but one day he found all of them dead, just keeled over inside their cages. And he gives you a knowing look. At first, he thought that he might have just fed them something wrong, that he accidentally starved them. But then it kept happening. Any creature that he took under his wing into his cages, none of them survive past a couple of days. And then it got worse. Dogs, cats, birds that got a bit too close, they all fall. And they all died. And for a second, the people in town thought that there was like some form of rabies that were spreading throughout the animals, but we knew the truth. Our parents. We knew that Carlos has something to do with it. And
So,
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
And one day, our parents, my parents, your grandparents, they decided to do something about it. And so they took him away. I don't know to who. But they never came back. I only found out the next day I found out that they didn't make it. That they were in a car crash. And so I moved on. Buried that part of my life and moved on. I got married. I had you. And I stopped thinking about Carlos. Now, do you understand why I kept it from you?
Wait, sorry. This is Roxas asking? Is Carlos inside the car with the parents and they all just died together? Or...
They don't know. As far as your father knows, based on what he's telling you, it was a car. He was told that it was a car crash, but he never looked into it. He moved on.
Oh, so he never went to actually check if his parents is actually dead?
Yeah,
Or
I mean, he was very young at the time, so.
Oh, he just, take... Okay. Okay. But that doesn't mean Carlos killed them. Does it?
I don't know. And I don't want to know. Everything to do with your brother, it's not natural. And we've had our fair share of unnatural in Creek Hollow.
Does our family always have this kind of things? A natural thing? Like my great grandfather.
I really need to know who told you all of these.
It was on public records.
It was on public records. I specifically had them sealed up.
This someone I know is influential, I would say.
And now this person is hassling you about your family?
I guess hassle is the right word, but he has something that I would like to know more.
Is it the Borman kid?
I shrugged my shoulder. He's like, I don't know.
Elizabeth is a good woman, but her kid is something else, but...
I agree.
Look. And he sort of like struggled with his words before. Your grandfather is named Luis Jimenez. And in 1955, he married a woman named Hattie Smith. Hattie is the daughter, the only child of McDowey Smith.
Wow. Our family is related to that McDowell Smith?
Yes, and I'm sure you've heard of that thing that they call the rat war. And he, as he says that, he does the quotation sign as if he doesn't really believe it.
You mean Alexander the Tiny?
Yes, Alexander the Tiny. So, during 1958, where this supposed rat scourge happened, your great-grandfather disappeared. Now, I don't know much about it other than what my parents told me, but it wasn't anything natural. He didn't just disappear And at the time, I didn't think to ask about it. But when when it started happening, they thought that it might have something to do with your great-grandfather's disappearance.
Oh, that
Look,
that's a lot of things that I didn't know.
yes, and it is for a very good reason. Now, I don't want you talking to that Borman kid anymore, alright? Don't let him fill your head with lies. And don't let him plant any more conspiracy theories in your head. Lord knows that kid has enough of it in his head.
I mean, he was right about me having an uncle.
He wants something from you.
And I want something in return.
Look, you're growing up. You're no longer a little boy. And sometimes I struggle with accepting that. And I cannot control what you do and the kind of man that you will become. So, he sort of like thinks for a second. I will trust you to know to do the right thing. If you want to go see Borman, you can. But know that our family history, there are lots of holes. Be careful what you fill that hole with. Okay?
I just want to know more about what I just saw and what really happened, James. What the thing that killed him and spared me? I just want to know more.
Oh, God help me. And he sort of like squeezes the bridge of his nose. Alright, if you're insistent on it, then go before I change my mind.
I just stand up and dash out the door.
Alright. No doubt with millions of thoughts going through your head.
Yeah.
And just to give you some time to process that, we're going to move to Saf. You've arrived home. And I'll say this is around noon. And you sort of like enter into your house. What do you do?
Steph immediately goes up to their room and just like cocoons in their bed, just like doesn't want to get out. Just all the emotions that they kind of pushed away from the past few days are like now surfacing. And with the interaction with Borman, they feel like kind of like violated, and because they didn't want to talk about this, they didn't want to process any of this. But now everything is like crashing down on them, and because they realize what has happened. And now they're just in bed, doesn't want to get out, just like, yeah, just covered in blankets and just in there.
Alright. And you remain that way for a bit. And you sort of lost track of time. And I'll say that you sort of like doze off for a bit. And then eventually you are woken up by a the sound of pebbles clattering against your room window.
Steph tries to ignore it at first, just trying to like nuzzle back up into bed and just like try to go back to sleep.
Is like And after a while, you just hear as if someone grab a fistful of pebbles and just toss it at you, and just and then you hear a voice,
my
"Oi, Saf!" And you hear the familiar voice of Paula.
oh my fucking god. And then I just like get up out of bed, and then I open the window, and I was just like, what do you want?
And she's just like standing over there, still wearing the same clothes that she had in school. And she's like, so Ryan came to me and told me that you sort of didn't go back to class. You doing okay? And she sort of like kicks a pebble by her feet.
What time is it? Is it like after school time?
Yeah, this is like, I would say like maybe like 10 minutes after school, enough time for Paula to get here on foot.
Yeah, right, because I live very close to school.
Yep.
I'm just like, yeah, I skipped school, the rest of it at least.
Want to talk about it?
Seth looks a little hesitant, thinks about it for a second. They kind of don't want to, but they also don't want to leave Paula outside. So they're just like, you want to come inside?
She shrugs. Sure.
And then I just nod, and I close the window, and I go over to let her inside the house.
All right. And she sort of enters and look around and goes, "Nice place."
Thanks. It's a pretty nice house.
Yeah, lots of room.
Do you want anything? I got like food. I can make something.
No, I'm fine.
I'm
If you're hungry, you can make something for yourself.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. I can just make something with. I can make something for you as well, since I'm here.
I'll eat your leftovers.
Ew. Maybe don't do that. I want to eat my leftovers. I'll make you something.
She like frowns a bit at the implication of eating your own leftovers, in which case there will be no food left to begin with. But she sort of lets that slide as she sort of like slumps down into your dinner table, and just sort of like lounges there for a bit as you sort of like cook something.
Mm. So while Saf is like making something, they just like try to initiate kind of small talk, not wanting to talk about what happened earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but also a little like just wanting to nudge Paula to do it like bit by bit, just like little bits by bits.
Oh, you want Paula to
but
be the one to engage, is it?
oh wait, no, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just I'm just saying what Saf's thoughts are. So they're just gonna like start a little bit of like small talk, just like, so how's the rest of school?
Same old, same old.
And they look up and they're like, that guy bother you again?
Nah, he knows not to boil. He likes to talk. I don't think he's much of a doer.
Yeah, you can say that again.
He's a bit of a weirdo, isn't he?
He is such a fucking weirdo. That little guy. If I could have my way. Never mind. Just don't like that guy. He is so weird.
Yeah.
So why are you here? I know you said that Ryan told you that I left or whatever, but I'm fine.
And she sort of looks at you. And sort of her gaze sort of like softened a bit and goes, "It's okay to mourn. I know that Jordan was close to you.
and they just stop whatever they're doing, and they're like, I I really don't I really don't want to believe that happened. I and Saf right now is just choking up, like not being able to say whatever they want to say. They have a million thoughts like running through their mind, but just like they're just kind of paralyzed in where they are. They can't like move. They can't say anything, and they're trying to like not go into like a full on like breakdown while Paula is there and they're like the host,
Mm.
and they're just like "Mm, it's everyone else is mourning too, so it's I don't need to be another one among the bunch."
And she's right now, like even Paula herself don't really know what to do as well. So she just sits there quietly and just be a reassuring presence beside you. Like doesn't really say anything, just using her presence as a comfort, basically.
Yeah, and I think like eventually Saf cannot steal for that long. They have been stealing for like the past like few days.
Mm-hmm.
That um they just like start silently crying while they're like finishing up the food, and then just like hit the voice is hitching. It's just like handing Paula her plate of food with like the tears, like Saf's tears, like yeah, a little a little a
Alright.
little seasoning with a little tear with some tears, just like sorry, just like sorry,
Is
and then just like pushes it towards Paula, like
she's like, it's okay. And she takes the plate and puts it onto the table, and she holds out her hand slowly towards you as if, like silently asking if you want a hug or not. But she's also holding back.
Saf is just gonna eat their food. um, I think they're gonna look to Paula to give her a little apologetic look, and just keep eating, and just like yeah, just eat. But I think while eating, they might reach out their hand just like a little bit, just to like put it in front, just there.
You put your hand on the table, is it?
Yeah.
All right. And after a while, Paula also slowly holds her hands up and places it on yours, like almost uncertainly, as if like waiting for you to pull it back. And if you do, she'll lift her hand away. If not, she'll keep it there.
Saf just doesn't pull away, just lets it happen.
All right. And she places her hand over yours, a warm, reassuring presence. As you continue through your, I guess, brunch by this time.
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
All right. And with that, we will move to our two brothers. What are the two of you up to?
Are we still in school or?
You tell me. Will the two of you meet up in school or somewhere else?
I mean, we did exit both on the same, like, the same, after the room, both of us exited at the same place, right?
Wait, which one?
After the interrogation by Mr. Donald.
Yeah. Basically, after the talk, you all just go back to
Oh,
your
after.
classroom. Yeah. And then now school is over.
I'll tell Justin, like, the guy, Howard, you mentioned that he was supposed to pick us up.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see him coming anywhere. I don't know what am I supposed to do with this. Then I look at Dustin. I'm like, so what did you think about Donald's little speech thing?
He has some interesting theory. I would like to hear about it more. But after that, we are going back to the set. Promise.
I'm gonna look at him like, sure. In my head, I'm thinking to use that as a bargaining chip. Using that little contract as a bargaining chip.
Okay, so you are heading to Borman's estate.
Mhm.
All right. So the two of you go in that direction, just on your bikes, and eventually, as you sort of like arrive there, you see that Piper and Vince are already there, and they sort of like notice the two of you arrive. They just give you not like this is not really your friend group, so they don't really react to you other than just like a sup, that kind of deal. And that is
At them, I asked where's Cyrus.
and as you ask that, you see Cyrus running towards all of you, probably panting because, you know, a bit out of shape.
God.
Yeah, it is quite the distance, I think, from your place.
Yeah,
Like,
It's a long way.
yep. So by the time you arrive, you are like covered in sweat and just gasping and panting. And Piper and Vince are just like looking it over and, you all right there?
Do I look alright?
You look like you just ran a marathon.
I think I just did.
All right, so she sort of like gestures towards you, Cyrus. Want to lead the way?
Alright. I just, start to walk towards the. Which house was it again? This one? I don't think it's Chen, right?
No, it's Borman over here.
That's Piper's house, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one.
Yeah.
And so all of you are about to walk, and as you're like about to walk in, you hear a car behind you, and then and as all you turn around, Myth and Dustin, you see a familiar white car, and a familiar man step out and goes, "Ah, there you are. Weren't you supposed to be at your house? Do you know how long I had to drive around looking for you?" As Howard walks towards you.
We are supposed to go there after, so we're not breaking the promise. Look at him, half grinning.
Look, I think if you and he looks at you, Myth. So have you talked to your mom?
Yeah,
And what's the
I
verdict?
did. The verdict is to be decided after we visit the vice mayor's house. Wait, the deputy's house.
Make a charm or grit roll. Your choice.
Charming.
Roll
This
today.
will be a 12.
Just met it,
12?
right?
Yes.
You can't have it. You can't have it. You gotta roll.
You can do it. First roll.
Technically, is this counting as persuading or resisting persuasion?
A little bit of both. That's why I gave you the choice of charm or grit.
Yeah, because I have a power as a teenager. I have rebellious +3
Okay.
against adults.
Let's go.
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
Okay.
You have adversity tokens if you want
I
to
have 3,
spend them.
but it's not enough.
Okay, so
Oh no!
the good news is you get 1 adversity token.
Ah,
The bad news is you failed.
You're like 1 adversity token less.
Yep. And he sort of like looks at you and goes, "Look, I don't know how is it you creek hollowers do business here, but in Hollywood, we have a process. You either come with us now, or this opportunity would pass you by.
Shit.
I can go alone.
Your
Mom would kill me.
your alarm bells above your head, like you can see your gravestone. The moment
More
Dustin
like
says that.
The moment Dusty just says those words, I see my gravestone. I see the death date is tomorrow.
Yep.
Like the TikTok video. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm like, shit.
We
I'm
read
gonna
the
look at-
contract and all, right? It's supposed to be
I mean,
safe.
I have no choice. I must follow. I can't leave you alone. I will die. Fine. Then I'll just move with Dustin. I take one last glance at the three of them standing in front of the Borman residence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Cyrus would listen to this. Would he to this or not? I'll just say if you know anything, come meet us by the set.
I just give him a nod.
Right. And with that, Howard ushers the two of you into his car and drives off. And Piper and Vince are like watching the car drives off, and then Piper's like, well, that was random. Looks like it's just the three of us now.
I guess, yeah.
Alright. And the three of you head up. Now, the Borman residence is like most of the house here. They're like not necessarily the size of a mansion, but what's smaller than a mansion but bigger than a bungalow? Is it a semi-D? I don't know the American word for it.
What?
Yeah, like a house that is not as big as a mansion but bigger than a bungalow.
Bigger than a bungalow?
An estate, I think.
What?
It's a big house.
Yeah, it's a big house. All of the houses in this neighborhood are big, like for the well-to-doers. And so, yeah, it's a semi-D.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I do not
I
know
have no
enough about
idea.
architecture to know these stuff. Or
It's a
real
big
estate.
house.
Yeah, or real estate. Yeah, so it's a big house. So you sort of like walk towards it, and you towards the door, and it is a very ornate door with an actual to God gargoyle knocker.
Damn. Let's knock on it.
All right, you take it.
You know, like that's the thing.
Yeah, you take it. Dung, dung, dung. And then you sort of like wait for a bit. And eventually, the door opens, and you see Donald behind it. Ah, you're here. Great. And he sort of looks around. Oh, it's just the three of you. Ah, it's fine. You're the star of the show anyway. Come in.
I have a feeling I'm gonna regret this, but hey.
All right, and as you enter the room, he says, feel free to, grab some snacks from the kitchen. There's a lot of stuff there. I'm gonna go outside. Just let me prepare for a bit, and then Cyrus, I would like you to come out in like maybe in 30 minutes or so. I want to talk to you first before you can call your friends up. All right?
30 minutes?
Give or take.
Just go.
All right, great. And then he runs upstairs, and the three of you are now inside this huge ass house. It's basically like it has a very Wayne Manor vibe to it, but obviously not as big as actual Wayne Manor. But that very posh upper class kind of house with a lot of like decorations and like weird ass like sculptures and vases all around.
Yeah.
And then so Piper sort of like looks around, eyes wide a bit, and then she sort of like whistles and ooh, nice place. He gave us free reign over his fridge, right?
You did.
Let's go see if he has a wine cellar. Come on, Vince. And then she goes off in the direction of the kitchen. And Cyrus, do you follow?
At this point, might as well. It's 30 minutes.
All right, you follow. And after like looking around, like basically like Piper does not have any like restraint at all. She's just like grabbing random stuff from the kitchen and just like eating, testing drinks here and there. And once while you're in the kitchen, you see like there are like a couple of like really like vintage wine bottles on one of the shelves. And he goes, "Well, he did say we can indulge, right?" As she reaches towards a bottle that is like, I don't know, 100 years old or something.
Wait, me?
No, Piper.
Let's not do that.
Come on, live a little.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he said that we can indulge and we can try whatever we want. This is here. Ergo, we can try it.
You know, I take no part in this, so you do you.
Your loss. And she sort of like trying to figure out a way to uncork it because this is a bit too like you all drink like beer cans or like vodka bottles. This is like a full on wine bottle with a cork in it. So it's just like after all right, you need to find like a corkscrew or something. She grabs it, and you all begin to engage, or rather, Vince and Piper begin to engage in underage drinking, which we will censor for a bit as we cut to our two brothers inside Howard's car driving. What is going through your head right now, Myth?
I want to ask Howard about Leon. I will be like passively asking. So Howard, I've heard that Leon went to another shoot, left town.
Yeah, they left quite late yesterday. We told his parents that they can still stay for another day, but apparently he had to shoot like today. In fact, probably starts in like 2 hours. Why?
Just wondering, did they manage to find anything after the shoot? After anything weird happening after the shoot yesterday, from the cave? I mean,
What do you mean? And he looks at you over the rearview mirror.
the cave scene. It felt a bit unnatural. It rubbed me the wrong way yesterday when I was watching it live.
And he's sort of like, that's just classic farrier magic.
I'm starting to put two and two together. And then part of me thinking, oh shit, what my mom said was true. Oh no. That is running through my head. Oh no. The magic of Hollywood is not magic.
Alright, and as Myth has that going through his head, what about you, Dustin?
Is Howard looking very angry?
He has his resting bitch
Annoyed.
face, so it's hard for you to tell.
I want to throw a joke on him.
What joke do you use?
So, Howard, what do you call a fake noodles?
And he sort of like lets out like a soft. I don't know what is like a fake noodle.
And impasta.
You hear us audible.
Poster, get it? Impasta. Come on, you gotta like the joke.
He doesn't engage. And he just continues driving. And
I sit quietly.
yeah, and eventually he sort of like turns up into like the main street and sort of like drives along it, and eventually he comes to a stop in front of a motel and begins to lead you, and he sort of like ushers the two of you out.
A motel. I'm gonna look back at that. This is not sad.
There are a couple of smaller shoots happening that don't really require farrier. The shoot that he's involved in comes a bit later. So he has some time to speak with you. And this is not a hotel, this is more of a motel, if anything. Like a bed and breakfast kind of place. Though a bit more of the higher end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
The higher end, we are safe.
yeah, and so he leads you, and he said, "All right, go in. It's room 4. I need to go by the set. Don't cause any trouble, all right?"
Do we go in, brother?
Part of me is like, no.
Our character too. Me too.
So what do you do?
I want to say no, but I cannot say no. In character, I cannot say no.
Yeah, we've come too far to say no. No.
Yeah, we come too far to say no.
All right, Howard.
Yeah, reluctantly, I will walk in.
All right, so Howard gets into his car and drives off, and you walk in. You can see like the receptionist sort of, like gives the two of you a look for a bit, but sort of allows you to pass. You'll head towards room 4. What do you do?
You did say wait at room 4, right?
Yeah, basically, that Jack Farrier is in room 4.
I
Gonna
want to
reluctantly
listen.
knock on the door. Oh, yeah, listening? Okay, listening first.
Yeah, listen in first.
All right. So this will be, let's make it a 6 brain check, or no way, you're spying on someone. I'll let you decide what skill you want to use and try to justify it to me.
Does in character, Dustin probably just want to know how many person like inside. Is it like a big set?
Oh, if that kind of thing, then you don't need to roll for it. You sort of press your ear towards it, and you sort of listen for a bit. You don't hear any footsteps, but after a while, you hear like a soft little like jaunty humming, muffled through the door. You gather this is probably Jack Farrier, just like humming cheerfully to himself.
Okay, humming. Seem harmless.
Yeah.
I tell my brother that.
It's just one person.
As far as you can tell.
I'm gonna proceed to knock on the door.
All right, you knock on the door, and here the humming, the jaunty tune stops. You hear footsteps, and then open the door, and you see the familiar face of Jack Farrier on the other side. You're here. All right, come in.
We walk in.
All right.
I walk in.
Yeah, we walk in.
All right, and he closed the door. Great. Thankfully that we're able to catch you. I was actually about to leave in like about 20 minutes. So let's make this quick, shall we? And he sort of like gestures at like, you know, those small little round table with like cushions that you can sit on. And he sort of like take a seat and gets you, come on, sit. Tea? And he gestures at like some of the
Sure.
tea bag, and he sort of like begins to pour and make the two of you tea. All right, so have you talked to your parents, your mom, about this little gig for your brother?
Yes. We did. It didn't go well.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. You know, thinking about it from outside in, and an adult man come to a bunch of kids and say, "Oh, do you want to come to my film set?" I can see why your mom would be reluctant. And he finishes making tea and sort of like places it in front of you, and he sits back down, takes his own tea, and sort of like sips at it. And he goes, "All right, look," and he sort of like adopts like a more serious look on his face and goes, "I don't want to force you anything. Like, I feel like like I said, my casting director was the one who approached me about casting your brother Dustin here. But I also understand that it can be difficult for your mom and for yourselves to trust in an adult like myself, a stranger no less. So I will just ask one more time. Would you be willing or be able to convince your mom to change her mind or not? It is perfectly fine if you can't. If that's the case, then I will just cut my losses and then we'll just look for someone else.
Give me one moment.
Of
let
course.
let my dice. Give me my dice. Let dice decide my fate.
All right, what is
It's like
18?
okay. I'll look at Mr. Jack in the face. And I'm like, I think we are here just to say that we are unable to convince our mom, but Howard didn't really give us a chance.
So you would like
He
a
just said, "You two get onto the car. We are going to see Jack." And then we wanted to say, actually, our parents didn't allow it. I didn't want to disappoint us.
and he sort of like massage.
We get to see you one last time.
Yeah, and he sort of like massages between. He's like, "Oh, Howard, always bringing a sledgehammer to do a scalpel's job." I am very sorry about that. Look, if you would be amiable, would you like me to arrange a meeting with your mom so that I can talk to her face to face about this?
You can try, but I'm already in kind of neck deep in water with her right now. Even by coming here, I'm so grounded, so grounded.
And I sincerely apologize to you on behalf of Miller Films and Howard. I'm guessing there's really no helping it, huh?
I guess not.
Well, I can't say I'm not disappointed, and he does look a bit disappointed, but I should have been more on top of this and go through the proper channel. I just, I only had about a week here. I'm only here for another 3 more days, and so I thought I, cut some corners, but evidently that was the wrong choice. So, well, in that case, I guess, goodbye then. And hopefully, I guess I'll see you around town for the next couple of days.
Yeah, I'll just not. Yes. Hopefully your filming from Creek Hollow really does pay off.
And he sort of like nods his head and goes, I have a feeling it would. I don't know why, but it's just this feeling I have. Just a vibe, Sometimes it just comes to you, and I think this is going to be a good one.
I'm gonna look at Dustin. How does Dustin look?
Yeah. What is Dustin's thought process throughout this entire thing?
Yeah, at first he was excited because he get to be in the movie and all, and then as it goes on, looking at my brother's face, thing is getting fishier by the minute. So, I mean, he's a smart kid, so probably this time he will listen to his brother. He can read the tone. He can read the tone.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right. And so the two of you eventually bid farewell to Jack Farrier, and you
Bye-bye.
yeah, and he sort of gives like the toodaloo wave with the finger waving around, and you close the door, and the two of you leave. And I'm guessing the two of you are heading home now.
I want to head back to the Broman residence if they are still there. Like I want to cycle. Wait, I didn't cycle there.
Oh yeah, you took
I
the car, so
walked.
you gotta walk back.
Oh shit!
Oh,
All right.
it's time to run the marathon.
Yeah. All right. So as you sort of and your brother sort of like begin to like make your way back towards Borman residence on foot, let's cut back to Saf. So I would say like by now a couple of hours has passed. What have you and Paula been up to this entire time?
I think After we ate, I asked her if she wanted to go on a run. And we're just like running around town, like aimlessly for God knows how long, just like running, and just like, yeah. I mean, it's not running the entire way. Like, there's a combination of like running and then like jogging a little bit and then walking.
So a
and-
marathon.
No, not exactly. We're not like trying to like run for so long, but you know, just want they just want an excuse to like go outside and take a breather.
I like the idea. Like, yeah, let's go for a like a quick easy jog. But and quick easy jog for you is literally like a relay race. But then for Paula, she's like,
5 km marathon.
yeah,
Well, that's not even a marathon. Just like a 5 km run. I was just like, this is casual. This is daily.
yeah.
This is my cardio.
Yeah, casual run. All right, casual run. Like what? 1 mile? You go like, no, 5. And she's like, I'm sorry.
Say it again.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I feel like that's like sort of what happens. But then they also don't want to like stick to their word too hard. So they're just like maybe like halfway or like even earlier than that. They just kind of slow down and all. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I would say, like, Paula is a fairly fit individual. You know, she's captain of the volleyball team. But
She gotta have that stamina. Come on.
yeah, but it's like volleyball is a different type of stamina. Like
True. Yeah.
running is like endurance, while volleyball is more like high intensity. I'll say.
Muscle.
You know, it's in Lord of the Rings. You know, Gimli is like, we dwarves are natural sprinters, better over short distances. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, that is basically Paula. So I'll say like about partway through, she's like, but then she doesn't want to give up to you because she sort of like flamed you about your lack of muscle strength, and so she's like, I'll be damned if I give up now.
Laughing at her while I'm running like ahead. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Ho, 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 ho.
And she's like, oh, you still have the breath to laugh, huh? She's like just running after you. Show off.
You gotta catch up. What you say about lack of muscles? Oh.
And she sort of like gives you like a censored middle finger as she sort of like runs. But eventually, like I would say, like after running for a bit more, she's like, okay, I can't do it anymore. And she sort of like stops and sort of like leans against like a nearby tree. I would say like you're sort of like by the side of the road. Like you didn't leave like the neighborhood, right?
Neighborhood meaning?
It's not like around your area.
Oh. Yum, 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 yum. I think we like left it for a bit and then we came back.
Okay. Yeah, so you come back, she's like leaning against one of the trees, like outside along these suburban roads. And she's like just panting over there. Do you leave her behind or do you circle back around?
I circled back around and I was just like, ooh, star player. What's going on, star player?
All right, you know what? I will eat my words. I will.
Yeah, you better.
I will not make fun of
Wow.
your upper body strength anymore.
You good? You need some water?
Just give me a couple of minutes.
Uh,
Yo, I am like
I-
fake miming, panting, and I think I accidentally triggered my adrenaline. My vision is sort of like getting the star from like.
I fully understand that.
Oh my god.
Goodness. Take a moment, breathe.
To break the plot.
Have a plop. It's a good house bar.
She's sort of like
100% guaranteed.
she looks at that skeptically and goes, "You know that's bad for your health, right?"
Huh? No. No. What? What do you mean? I've been taking these for like God knows how long.
And she sort of like gives you a look. Okay, all right. I mean, she's sure that if you say so, and she reaches out and take a plop from you and eats it. I do not know what plop tastes like because I have never eaten this candy before. And she's like,
Ooh.
Several doesn't know what it is. They're just like, ooh, ew,
just a
yeah.
just a bunch of American weaves here, just like like sometimes like American people like like just get obsessed with like anime. This is basically us with America
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. They're just like, this is American. Look.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I have all of you get your first day of school during summer when that is summer vacation, but we don't talk about that.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about that. No.
Yeah, I realized my mistake like halfway through the week after session one. I'm like, oh shit. But maybe it's just Creek Hollow's little quirk, you know?
Small town stuff. It makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, small towns are weird.
Yeah. All right. So she sort of like eats it. It's like, okay, this is not too bad.
Meat's gone.
Wait, who?
Meat.
Myth.
Yeah. Meat.
Maybe his Wi-Fi got
My,
tripped or
my
something.
nemesis.
Oh, all right. I mean, I
Oh my god, not Max's again.
no.
No,
Max's
not
again.
Max's.
Exo's taking over now.
The rev- Oh my god. Okay. Well, thankfully it is not his turn yet, so we can just continue until he comes back, I guess.
Okay.
Alright. So she like pants a bit and this is pretty good. Who did you get this from? I don't think I've seen it in like the local convenience store.
And then I'm just like, I just like come up next to her like really close. I'm just like, can you keep a secret?
And she sort of like frowns a bit. It's just chocolate. Why are you being so sketchy?
No, but it's like special. It's like not from around here. It's not like American, you know?
And she's getting that look of like, okay, and like, all right.
Yeah. I get it. I get it from a dealer in town.
A dealer?
You know?
And she sort of looks at it again. What did you lace me with?
No. Oh my god. Why would you think I would ever do drugs? That's so bad for your health. You know how I am about health.
Yes, and she looks down at the plop bar, the chocolate bar. I can tell. And she looks back at you.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
No. What is that supposed to mean?
I'm trying to remember. Did we establish that plop is actually like just normal candy? It doesn't really help with like.
Yeah, it's just a chocolate bar. Yes.
It is just a candy
Yeah.
bar.
So basically, So basically, when you said.
It's like convinced that it's like not a candy bar.
Yeah. So basically, when you say that, you know how I am with my health. She looks down at the chocolate bar and then looks back at you. Okay. Yeah, you're kind of like you're in like Kung Fu Panda 2 where like Po reveals to like Tigress that his father that he was adopted, and then Tigress was like, your father, the goose, and then she's like, that must be quite the shock. You know, that kind of way.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I get it from a dealer, and it doesn't have any drugs or anything like that. It's just difficult to get around here, so.
All right, I'll take your word for it. And she sort of like folds up the other half and shoves it into her pocket, and sort of like and sort of like stretches a bit and looks at you. So what now?
What time is it?
Summertime. Nah, I'm not gonna. I need to stop making that joke every time someone say what time is it. Yeah, I'll say by now for you because we're not going chronologically here.
Yeah.
So I'll say around by now is like about 5 o'clock. Like
So like evening-ish.
yeah, like late afternoon.
That's late afternoon. I consider 5 p.m. like evening already.
Oh really? I considered 7 o'clock onwards evening.
Huh?
Is
7?
Is that not how it works?
7 is like nighttime already for me.
Oh,
Yeah, the sunset.
I mean,
Yeah,
is rising.
7 is sunset.
okay. I am entitled to my wrong opinions.
Yeah, you're entitled to your wrong opinions, and I'm entitled to my right opinions. Thank you very much.
Ugh. All right, fair enough. Okay, but yeah, so yeah, yeah.
It's 5 p.m.
Yeah, just over 5.
Okay. I just asked Paula. I'm just like, do you have anywhere to be? Don't you have to be at home?
I mean, technically, but I don't know. It's it's been a bit awkward at home. Like my parents, they're like constantly asking me if I'm alright, if I'm feeling better. And it got a bit much, you know. I just need to get out of there.
I understand. You're hungry? You barely ate anything. I mean, I'll eat your leftovers. I know I cooked like a little bit much. I wasn't watching the portion, but you may be hungry for something?
Sure, why not? Where do you have in mind?
Wait, hold on. Isn't I've isn't there like a uh does shake and bake?
Oh yeah,
Do we?
yeah, shake and bake.
Yeah, I want to go to shake and bake. I'm like, whoa, I want to go there.
The one in which Paula's father is one of the co-founders.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like,
Now I'm hungry.
and she's like,
Does she even want to go? I barely go because health net or
Yeah.
whatever. So,
you know what? On one hand, I kind of don't want to be around my parents, but on the other hand, I don't think you've ever been to shake and bake before.
no, I've never been to shake and bake.
Oh, you're in for the dinner of your life. Come on, I'll indulge you this one time.
Well, you can't indulge me other times too.
I'll keep that in mind. And the two of you make your way towards the shake and bake. And now we go back to the rich man's house as Piper and Vince are like getting sloshed on that high quality, expensive wine that probably costs more than your house. And Cyrus, you're still not imbibing.
No, I'm not taking a sip.
Alright. So you just Piper is just like over there like just pouring or like Vince has already passed out on the those like fancy like tabletop like those high table where there's like those stools at like almost like a kitchen bar.
Yeah.
Vince is like passed out on top of one of it already clutching his half empty wine glass and Piper is still sort of like drinking and she's like just complaining about her sister. Like she's always so overbearing. Like can't she just leave me alone to do my own thing? Like come on, it's not like I do anything to disrupt her or anything. Like yes, I know she's the golden child, and my parents is constantly saying, oh, you should be like Paula more, so that you can get a good education and become like a doctor or something. But why can't I just do my own thing? I want to play music. You understand, don't you? And she sort of like leans dramatically towards you, Cyrus. And what? How are you dealing with your friends getting sloshed right now?
I'm taking notes for one. Bitch on the later, but taking notes right now. And it's like, yeah. I feel you. I feel you because I know I know Piper's strong already, so I'm just like, half-heartedly say, yeah, I feel you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not like I'm good at playing music, like, but I'm still saving up. Like, I'm sure at some point I can like buy like a guitar or something to practice, and eventually travel around, play in pubs or something, hit it big, get signed on to like a label, the rock and roll dream. And I hope that once I begin my road to that you would be there.
Oh, I will.
You're a good friend, Cyrus. I know I give you a lot of shit, but Vince.
You do.
Yeah. Okay. Look, tone down the sarcasm. I'm trying to have a moment here.
All right.
And she's like, "You're," and she sort of like slumps onto the bar and also passed out.
Well, we're supposed to have a conversation.
Yeah. And now it's just you.
Man, I wonder what's taking so long.
Yeah, what is he? I would say by now it's like more than 30 minutes already. He has still not come down.
I don't know. I guess I'll just wait. They're both passed out, right?
Yes, they are.
Wins,
They are dead. Not dead, but like just dead to the
Yeah,
world
yeah.
currently.
Okay. Okay.
It's a blind
Sus.
poison.
They
Suspicious.
they drink a lot. They finish one bottle and then Piper uncorked another one.
I
Oh
checked
my
my list.
god.
Oh my god.
Your
damn.
tiny little 15-year-old bodies. Oh god.
I take no part in
Yeah,
this.
we do not endorse child alcoholism at this channel. I
Yes,
must
it
say
was-
that.
It's Piper and Wins.
Yep, it's not us.
I don't know. Like Donald is on second floor. Second floor.
Yeah,
right.
upstairs.
Upstairs. I guess I'll just wait.
You will wait.
Yeah.
All right, so you continue waiting. Another 5 minutes passed. Another 10 minutes passed. Still nothing.
I'll just go to the stairs there. Hey, what's taking so long?
You wait. No response.
Hello?
Yep.
Man. I got a bad feeling about this as I just slowly walk upstairs.
All right. You walk up this ornate wooden staircase up towards the second floor, and there are quite a number of doors here. As you try to look around, like this house has like a very, almost like a faux Victorian vibe to it, like a very rustic, like dark brown kind of wood texture, you know, like in the middle of the stair, in the middle of like the hallway, you see like this ornate grandfather clock that's like tuk, tuk, tuk. And then on the opposite side there's like a very like intricate mirror with like very like nicely carved filigree along the edge that's just like stretched on for like about like 10 feet encompassing the wall. And it is very garish. Like the house.
Okay.
And so you're gonna try to look for his bedroom, is it?
Yeah.
All right, so you begin to walk around. You try like a couple of doors. Like most of them are locked. Like you just rattle, you cannot open it. You were able to open one door and you look inside and it is a bathroom. Though to call it a bathroom is putting it mildly, it is the size of your living room and your kitchen put together. And there's like a bathtub, very nice, like almost jacuzzi like bathtub on it, just like at the center, and you're like, that must be very comfortable to be inside one of those. And you close the door and you continue along. And eventually you sort of stumble upon like the end of the hallway. You reach the door, you turn, and the doorknob turns. Do you push it open?
Before that, it's like, Donald? You in there?
No response.
Push it open.
You push it open and you look inside, and this seems like a bedroom. A fairly large bedroom with sort of like a queen size bed towards one corner. And like there are like a lot of like shelves throughout, like filled to the brim with books, and there's like this large mahogany study table on the other side, like across from the bed, from the large bed. Like the room is big, but there is so much clutter in here that it makes the room feel small and stifling. And you can see like there are just papers everywhere. Like there's like, you know, that very conspiracy theorist, like, you know, the styrofoam
Whiteboard.
board with like all of the pins on it with like pictures
yeah.
and maps and all this kind of stuff and writings, and there's a lot of that. There's like two of that like just hanging like in the middle of his room, and across the floor there are like a lot more notes. Each of it is like covered with like newspaper clippings, newspaper articles, some of it cut out, some of it underlined and circled. It's very like conspiracy theorists basically inside this room. There's just like paper everywhere. And you look around, you do not see. And you sort of you had to like step in a bit more in order to like just get a sense of the room. And the light is on inside this room, but you don't see Donald. And then you start looking around, and then you hear a voice. Hey, Cyrus. Been a while. And you turn towards the voice, and you see stepping from where she has been lurking behind one of the conspiracy board. You see the familiar figure of Letha, just standing over there and looking at you. And he goes, "Been a while, huh?" And she like walks, and she's like dressed like again like very like casual clothes, like tank top with like her black mini leather jacket and like slim jeans and like your comfortable shoes. And she has her hands in her pocket and just like looking at you with that almost trademark smile on her face, that very like the kind of smile that's like very easygoing, and she's just looking at you. And how do you respond?
Lisa? Why are you here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Donald asked me to come.
Ah, well, that kid's not that important. What's important is what he has here.
But aren't you kind of trespassing right now?
I mean, if I'm trespassing, then you're trespassing as well.
But I was invited by the owner of the house. I mean, the son of the... yeah, you get what I mean.
And she almost like speaks over you. You know, I was a bit disappointed that you stopped showing up after the first couple of times. I do so enjoy our sessions. Can I ask why you stopped?
I guess it just wasn't what I expected.
And she sort of looks at you. Her look a bit serious for a moment. Then her expression cries and she goes, of course. And the way she laughs is like, you're like, why are you laughing? And the way she does it, it almost seems like she's laughing at her own like internal joke that you don't get. And she sort of like hops onto the table and just sits down there for a bit. So, Cyrus, why are you here? Learned some interesting bombshells lately? And she has that very playful twinkle in her eyes.
And why should I tell you?
And she's like, gives like a full shoulder shrug. Just curious. I mean, and also I'm just sort of like making small talk, you know? People usually make small talk in the lead up to them asking the other person to do something for them.
What happened to Donald?
He's not important. I need you to do something for me, Cyrus. And whether you choose to accept or not is going to determine whether your friend survives or not. And I don't mean your two drunk ones downstairs. I mean your comic book loving partner, Dustin.
What did you do to Dustin?
Oh, I didn't do anything to him, but I need you to do something to him. You see, time is a very strange thing. Like, it can only go in one direction, and once it passes, the present becomes locked in place. And in order to determine our future, we need to put in the pieces in order to ensure that the future falls the way that we want. And I need you to help me nudge that piece. And in doing so, you can potentially save his life.
Why should I trust you? And how do you know all of this?
That's not important. And she stands up and she walks towards you. And she's like, how tall is Cyrus?
Wait, yeah, I have that in my notes.
I don't know. You can just make it up.
It's fine. I'm just like, I guess 165 centimeters. I don't know how many feet is that.
Oh god. We'll just say that Lisa is a bit shorter than you. She's like 5'1". I do not know the metrics.
I'm 5 feet tall.
Okay. All right.
5'1".
Yeah.
5 foot
5'1" is like 152-ish.
Is that like super short?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Think like 5 centimeters. Me shorter. Me like 5 centimeters shorter.
Oh god, that's very short then.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll make Lisa 5'2" then.
It's a little bit
my
shorter.
height.
All right. Okay, so yeah, but regardless, Cyrus, you have like a couple of inches on her, and so she walks up to you, and you look down at her, and she looks up at you. Like she doesn't like invade your personal space, but she just stands in front of you and goes, "Look, you trusted me once upon a time, back then. I need you to trust me again now. Now, listen very carefully. This must be done before tomorrow sundown, all right?" And she extracts one hand out from her mini jacket pocket, and she holds out to you, like, you know those plastic bag, you know, the one that you can clip together like with a ziplock. Yeah,
Wait. Okay, yeah.
yeah, she holds out one of those small, and inside there is a pill in it. And she hands it to you. Give this to Dustin. It should help you move him around, because I need you to bring him to the old Myers place. And as she says that, you know that the old Myers place is sort of like the nickname that you Creekers have for an old factory that sort of like closed down due to bankruptcy and has been sort of like condemned this entire time. Now, you can use this to do it, or you don't have to, but I need you to get Dustin there before tomorrow sundown. Do you understand?
And by doing this, I will save him.
Yes, you will save all of us.
This sounds like a bad idea, but I mean, what's still? I guess I'm in. I'll do it.
And she sort of looks at you. Are you lying?
I am not.
Okay, so she looks at you in the eye. And then, again, the intensity in her gaze breaks, and then she smiles again, going back to her very laid-back self. Great. Good, good. Good to know that I can still trust you, even though you did ghost me for a couple of months. Now, I've prepared a bundle for you, and then she gestures at next at the bed that she had been sitting on, and you notice that there is like a thick binder, like this leather bound book, almost like a diary on it. Bring that with you. You're going to need it. And I left you a little something beneath the bed.
No, thanks, I guess.
All right. So you head towards the bed. Which one do you grab first, the book or what she left for you beneath the bed?
I guess I'll grab the book first.
All right, you grab the book, you sort of like thumb through it, and you see that this is sort of like almost like a Donald's journal, and it has, from what you can tell, it's almost like a summary of all of his investigations into Creek Hollow's history. And you gather that whatever information that you want to find is probably inside this book. And then as you sort of open, you can see like in the cover, there is a very like jarring handwriting that is completely different from Donald's very you know the way sometimes reporters write is like very like scribbly. There's like just this one bright letter or word written across like the front of it that you gather is probably Lisa's handwriting that goes, "Enjoy, it's a blast," and then winky face.
I close the book and check what's under the bed.
All right, so you sort of like reach down and you push a bit of the, you know, the hanging like duvet, and you see just beneath the bed is a gun.
Oh. Do I recognize this gun? Is it James?
Yeah, it is James's gun.
Why is this here?
I mean, it's your friend's, right? So I took the liberty of liberating it from who it doesn't belong to and decided to give it back to you. You're welcome.
I guess I'm not going to ask who you are. I'm not going to get an answer anyway, but... Man, I'm thinking, should I...
It's up to you.
Oh... 15 years old with a gun. And now have a drug that's supposed to make Dustin easy to move.
No, when you say it like that,
How Nick described it to me.
when you lay it all out on the table,
You know, it sounds like
Blame the DM.
I'm a 50-year-old hitman now.
Mm.
oh my god.
Come on, don't be shy. It's not gonna bite you.
Yeah, it's not gonna bite me. It's gonna put me behind bars.
I mean, don't go around shooting it all willy-nilly. Just keep it as insurance.
The fact is, James gone and the gun's with me.
Yeah, so don't wave it around.
And when, you know what? I mean, you're right. I guess for security issues. I mean, insurance. I just grab it.
All right, you take the gun. All right, you can go.
Wait, Lisa, I have a question.
I may not answer.
Do you know what was the creature that attacked me and James?
And as you say that, she sort of like grins, and it is a full tooth grin. I'll say this. Actually, you know what? I don't think it would ruin the fun if I were to tell you this. The thing that attacked James is not the same thing that came to you. And she smiles, and she has this knowing smile on her face, like she's dying to tell you something, but she's just holding it back. Like there's the way she says that is like there's more to it, but she's just doesn't want to reveal it, and she's enjoying the fact that she knows and you don't.
What? It's...
Come on, think about it. These rumors in your town, Alexander the Tiny eats carrots out in the farms, and then that one little rumor about that film crew at Mirror Falls seeing strange things there, but miraculously none of the tapes survived. Do you really think that they are the same thing? That Alexander the Tiny is also the one that lurks behind Mirror Falls? No. Nothing is ever that simple.
Who are they? They are definitely not wild animals.
That is for you and your little friends to find out.
Why do I have to drag Dustin to this matter?
Again, that is for me to know. And you to not ask questions and just do what you're told. Do you understand? And you can see she's started losing her patience a bit.
If anything happened to him, you know what? It's fine. I'll do as you ask.
Good boy. Ta! And she waves.
Okay. You know what? Don't see, don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I'm just gonna go down.
Alright, you sort of like go down. By this point, your two friends are sort of like beginning to stir. No! What time is it?
Now, It's go home time.
Oh, already? Weren't we supposed to talk to that fella? Yeah.
I've done talking while you guys were unconscious.
Oh, alright, I guess I'll. Oh my god. And and Vince is like dead. Like Piper somehow is like, even though she was drunk, she somehow is able to shake it off like much faster than Vince, who is still passed out. So the two of you sort of like slung Vince in between your shoulders and begin to lead him out. And as the three of you leave the house, that is when Matthew and Dustin arrive. And you see Cyrus and Piper with Vince between them, and he is dead.
Hammer.
Yep.
He's passed out drunk.
I'll look at the three of them and say, so I guess it was a very fruitful meeting.
Fruitful is a word, I guess.
And I go, what's up with him? The guy in the middle.
He's just taking a nap, Dustin. Dustin,
Yeah.
there's something I need to tell you.
What about, man?
You free tomorrow?
Edward.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, tomorrow is Thursday, right?
Yes.
You wanna hang out after school?
Hang out. I thought you hated me for. Yeah, okay, let's do hang out.
It has been a while.
Yes, it has. Yeah.
Gotta talk about the new chapters of that comic books that you like.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, and with that, the group of you begin to leave. And we're just gonna, for a brief moment, cut to Saf and Paula. What are the two of you up to?
While all of this is happening, the both of us are just like shake and bake, and we're like, yeah, food.
Basically, we have like intense drama, mystery, and then every time we cut to Saf and Paula, it becomes like anime slice of life.
We are the B-side. We are the B-side story that lightens up the mood.
Yeah, and that is perfectly valid.
I love it.
All right.
We are just at shake and bake. I think and Seth is like, is Paula's parent there? Is one of her?
I'll say the dad is here. Yeah.
So I get like a little excited because I don't think I've ever met Paula's parents.
Yeah, and he is.
And I kind of want to tease her a little bit.
All right. Yeah, he's fairly excitable, and as you sort of like, I was at the early end, and the dad is like, "Oh my God, Paula, you brought a friend! Hi, you must be Sam."
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, yes.
Yeah, Paula's.
You know my name,
Paula-
and I just look over to Paula.
Yeah,
I was just like,
Yeah, Paula's like that, and it's like, "Oh, Paula's told me a lot about you." Like, yeah, come on, let's get a table. And then she mimes the hand over the neck thing, like cut it out, and just ignore him. Come on, and she sort of like shoves you a bit, not like a full on shove, but just like a nagging shove.
I'm just like, oh, Paula, have you talked about me to your parents?
I plead the fifth.
Ah, ooh.
Anyway, and then she sits down, hides herself behind the menu, and begins to just order like a bunch of stuff, like a lot of stuff. And
I was about to like look through the menu to see what I wanted to do, but then I saw Paula and I'm like, okay, I'll let you do the ordering, I guess.
Yeah, look, trust me, I've been here a while. I know the good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I trust you.
Yeah, and she orders like a shit ton. Like the banquet that was placed before you is quite possibly the most decadent meal that you have ever seen in your life. Like everything is oily and fried.
Oh my God.
Yep, it's like a baker fusion. Like there's even like a fried cake.
Wait, what? Fried what?
Yeah, like cake that is dipped in flour, dipped into hot oil, and then brought back out with cream on top of it.
Oh my
Such a
god.
American thing.
Sounds very healthy.
Yeah.
That makes me so queasy right now, like IRL.
Honestly, me too.
Oh.
I was thinking, what is the most like heart attack high cholesterol inducing dish I can imagine, and that is what came out.
Oh my god, I ate
fried
fried
water.
seafood once. I ate fried seafood once and I got so queasy. I was like, oh
Yeah.
god. And it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah.
But it was kind of bad.
Yeah. And the rice. These are the mini bombs. You eat them in one bite. Go on.
I'm just... And Sam was like, oh, okay. And at first they're going like okay, probably like the first like 10-15 minutes. But then like after that they just like slow down. They're like, oh, oh.
Oh, and here,
Oh
and,
my
and
God.
here are our signature fried carrots, and these are basically carrots that are again coated in flour and then dipped in oil and fried, and then put with like some mustard sauce or like ranch or something. I don't know.
More fried food.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, that's our signature. That's why we call ourselves the Shake and Bake.
Shit. I thought this is you know, like your typical diner.
Oh, you want the typical diner food? All right, waiter.
Oh.
And she orders you some more food.
Oh. I mean, I was hungry, but maybe not that hungry. But they don't say that to Paula. They just let her do it.
And
But I think that while Paula is ordering, I think Steph is also just trying to like sneakily like call Mr. Chen over, just like
wait, what was that?
to get Paula's dad to come over just to like chat for a second.
Oh, and you see. Oh yes. You call, and then then she's like, Saf, what are you doing? Why are you calling him here?
I'm just like, hi, Mr. Chen, it's so nice to meet you. And I'm like, and I put out my hand to like for a shake if you do.
Oh, okay. And it's a pleasure to meet you too, Saf. I am so glad that you decided to make friends with my daughter because she has been a bit moody of late, you know. But you seem to bring her out of her shell. But enough.
Oh, really? You know, you mentioned that Paula was talking about me, and I'm just like kind of curious. What did she say about me? Cause she doesn't. And I like look over at Paula, and I'm just like, cause she doesn't seem to want to tell me anything.
And you can see her cheeks is a bit red, and she's like glaring at her dad, and like, oh, she told me a lot, like, and then she notices Paula glaring a bit, and you know what, Saf, why don't you make a charm check of 14 to see if you can get the dad to loosen his tongue against his daughter's, you know the daughter glare.
I live for the drama. How much was it?
14.
I'm gonna use my adversity tokens just for fun.
Wait, all of 3 of it?
Yeah, because I have 5.
Okay. All right. Okay, and as he does, and and Mr. Chen's he let loose and talk. He's like, oh, he was talking about like how much like you inspire her to be better, you know. And then she's like, oh my god, and she buries her face into her hands, and it's like, you know, like you're like a very hard workout girl. Is that what they're called? Athlete, yes, or no, that's not the word. And he's a bit like thinking a workout buff, you know, and it's sort of like motivate her to be better. Like, I noticed her hitting the gym and going around jogging a bit more since she befriended you. Yeah, and she's always.
I think Steph, this entire time, Steph is just like trying to stifle giggles.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah, and she's constantly talking about like when she gets to meet up with you and things like that. On the off chance that she is home, she hasn't been home a lot. I'm guessing like she's hanging out with you this entire time. Keep her safe, all right? She's a bit impulsive, and it's like that. Enough. And she's like, kill me now, just hiding her face.
Like, don't worry, Mr. Chen. She has been hanging out with me, and she has been golden. She's been perfect. So don't have to worry about a thing. Your food is really nice, by the way, Mr. Chen. Thank you very much.
Of course, would you like some of our complimentary nuggets on the house?
No, it's okay. I think because Paula here has like ordered so much, and I don't want it to go to waste. Maybe like takeaway would be nice.
Of course. Just let me take all of this, and he begins to like bring all of the leftover food and cart it to put it into like styrofoam box for you to pack home. And then finally, after he left, Paula finally lifts her red face from her hands and just looks at you.
Like that wasn't that bad. Your dad's nice.
And she just glares at you. Like, not really glare, it's like a deadpan look. And he goes, "You don't get to hold this over me."
And then I like make like a joking, offended look. I was just and putting a hand all over my chest. I was just I would never. When it, like I don't want to laugh, but then I let out just a little laugh, and I was just my bad.
And you
I
can
would never.
you can see like her foul, stern expression sort of cracks a bit as she sort of like smiles a bit. And she and goes, "I'm glad we did this. It's been a lot, and it's good to wind down, with a friend."
With a friend that you talk to your parents a lot about.
All right, enough.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
And with that cheery note, we will cut back to the other group at the rich people's street as the five of you begin to limp away, the two brothers in front with Cyrus and Piper carting Vince walking down the sidewalk away. We pan up towards the top over the mirror overlooking the main street, and behind it you see Lisa sort of like walking up towards the windowsill and presses her hands against it and looks out and watch the five of you leave with a sort of like a soft smile on her face. Things are gonna get a little intense from here on out, I think. Wouldn't you say, Donnie boy? And she looks towards her right, and behind the curtain you see the slumped corpse of Donald. Over there, unmoving, eyes opened, face wide, and there's like a cut across his throat. And then she's sort of like, "Attaboy," and she like pats him against the shoulder, and then pushes herself away from the windowsill, puts her hands into her pocket, and begins to walk away. Leaves the room and pulls it shut. And we're gonna end session 3 of what lurks in Creek Hollow right here. Thank you all for joining, and hopefully you all enjoy.
Oh man.
Whiplash. I'm experiencing whiplash.
Dude. What am I supposed to do?
Yep. That's the fun of it. And
Time to suffer. Time to make a decision.
Yep.
Oh.
Decisions are coming, my friends, and they will not be easy. This is the part in the story, where it goes, "Are you sure you want to make this choice? It will have repercussions over the rest of the game." Yeah.
You don't know what to do, just roll a d20.
Let the dice decide your fate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'll just sit down there. Should I sign? Should I forge a signature? Yes, no, I rolled high.
Oh yeah, and but yeah, to our viewers, thank you all for showing up. Hope you enjoy this game, and we will see you next time. Bye.